from the very first time I saw an NFT, it was like, oh my God, this is going to completely change the nature of gaming, honestly. I mean, it's really going to fundamentally change it. So this isn't as traditional an accounting as we've had accounting, audit, finance, all those kind of things. So a slightly different talk that's looking at a new business model, a new way of approaching problems with blockchain technology, in this case around gaming. Come on up, you guys. You are more than welcome. Welcome, first of all, Jim Thompson, VP of Sales and Partnerships here at Bitwave. Longtime Bitwaver, over 2 years now yet? Something like that, it's crazy. Jim, and then let's welcome, you guys can just come up, it's all right. Tina Russell, Financial Controller for Shrapnel, who has over 10 years experience in the interactive entertainment industry. And prior to joining Shrapnel in 2022, she was head of finance at Monolith Productions, where she supported the successful launch of Shadows of Mordor and the sequel Shadows of War. Awesome games, you play as Aragorn, you go around killing orcs, super fun stuff if you like that kind of thing. Flavien Defrere is the Director of Global Development at the BGA, that's a Blockchain Gaming Alliance, and is in charge of supporting all the 500 companies and members of the BGA, which aim to gain visibility in the Web3 industry and seek business opportunities within the BGA community. Flavien helps raise awareness for and accelerate the adoption of blockchain within the gaming industry. One of my favorite panels of the day. Take it away, you guys.
Thank you, Pat. Awesome to be here. We have two awesome guests here. Tina from Seattle, Flav coming in from Paris. Appreciate you guys traveling. I think only at EDAS do you get an audit panel and a gaming panel back to back, right? I was gonna say, Pat, I wanted you to put in like my Mario Kart win-loss record for some credibility, but these auditors would have pulled my Call of Duty KD ratio and would have lost it all. So great to be here. I'm gonna really let Tina and Flavien do a lot of talking today, but I wanna frame up the conversation around gaming with a few stats first. First of all, this is a big industry. So I don't know who knows this, but the gaming industry in terms of total revenue is larger than music and movies combined. So every T-Swift concert that everybody's clamoring for tickets for, and your Spotify subscriptions, and the big blockbuster movies, all that revenue doesn't add up to what we're doing in the gaming space today. So this is big business. This is not just a hobby. And number two, Flav, this came from your report with DApp Radar. 48% of on-chain activity in January was actually gaming related. So we're talking about a lot of things today that are future looking and things like that. Gaming is here now and it's happening on-chain, and a lot of them are members of the BGA, and the Shrapnel team are building really cool things we're gonna talk about. And the final one is that in 2022, we had $7.6 billion invested into blockchain gaming. So folks at A16Z, you've seen them in the news doing this, and lots of different funds. So the best is yet to come. There's a lot of really cool games coming. This stuff doesn't happen overnight, as Tina can attest to at Shrapnel, if you want to build a really high quality game. So let's jump into it. Flav, start us off with just why blockchain gaming? Like, what are some of the fundamental pieces here that are important, and why this is such a disruptive process with so much excitement and investment?
Yeah, first, thanks a lot for the invite. It's a pleasure to be here today to talk about this exciting topic. Why blockchain gaming? Obviously, when you try to define blockchain gaming, you try to first think of what kind of value proposition you could bring to the players. And saying that the kind of value proposition for the players is obviously, my experience as a player was, okay, I enjoy playing games because I really want my story living in my games to be to rely on the storytelling of a specific game. So I want to build relationship with other players, to compete, to live something specific, to achieve goals and reach objectives as well. So it's it's a lot of engagement inside a game, but at the end of the day, when you're done playing the game, you're done playing the game. You don't have any relationship between your achievements, your activities, playing a game, and your real life. You don't have any impact in that sense. And when you think of Web3 gaming, what I really like about it is when you explain that actually I think one thing is missing is the ability for players to create substantial relationship with game companies with ownership. The ownership of digital assets is for players to actually claim the ownership of specific in-game asset they were able to gain through a lot of different activities, and I think that's something that really help the players to play a big role in the sustainability of a game. And before that, I think, in my opinion, when you play the game, it was inside the walled garden. Like, the game publishers decided on everything. Obviously, the experience is fun, it's thrilling. You can do a lot of things inside the game, but you cannot extract values from the game and to distribute these value outside the game, exchange, transfer the value of the game. And you actually took a lot of effort to play the game and to achieve things. So I think something was missing. And the ownership of digital asset is really opening the gates of the economy of a specific game for a lot of different actors, for the players at first, I would say.
I love it. So that's a great foundation for this conversation. And Flav, you flew in from Paris last night. I saw you in New York at NFT NYC, lots of buzz on the floor. You were at GDC hanging out with Megan, our gaming lead in the team. Like, what are you seeing on the ground floor from your members and just folks that are excited about the space? Like, which of these themes are kind of coming through this year?
It's definitely exciting. We try not to focus on what's happening in the crypto market to define what is blockchain gaming, the situation of blockchain gaming. Because with the 500 company members we have, the kind of relationship did change based on what happened in the markets. They are still building games, very exciting about the technologies, and what we are seeing now, and it's very funny to be here as well, Jim, because last year we were at GDC for the first time, and our neighbor was Bitwave. So it was a fun story to tell, and obviously last year it was very different. So GDC is one of the biggest traditional gaming convention for professionals involved in this industry, and last year you got some blockchain companies, not so many games. Today, this year, you saw a lot of game companies with booth, like Shrapnel, with Avalanche, and you can actually play it. You could actually play game. So you could actually show what is blockchain gaming through the gameplay that you could actually testify at the booth, which is, for me, a lot. I think part of the education for blockchain gaming is to actually play the game, and after that, you can understand ownership of digital assets.
Yeah, so a lot of that investment really coming to fruition, coming to life. So Tina, let's get you in on this. Tell us more about Shrapnel and the vision for anybody who's not familiar. You all were named the most anticipated game of the year. Like, why is that, and what are you doing with user-generated content that Flav alluded to that makes you so special?
Sure. So Shrapnel, I think, is in a really unique space, and that what we're trying to do is bring a AAA game experience to blockchain. We have a team, they produced Halo, Call of Duty. So the AAA experience that most gamers expect, they're going to get that with us. And one of the things that really got me excited about joining Shrapnel is the fact that it's game design first. You know, and where Flavian's saying that's what really drew you in to the gaming space. And it's game design first. And then, by the way, if you want to have this really great experience in a community with true ownership of the assets that you create in game, we offer that with blockchain. So this was an idea that our founders had probably 10 years ago, but blockchain is now enabling that ability for users they generate their own content, they can create a gun, they can create a patch, and through our vanity tool, creator tool, what's great too is you don't even have to play the game. You can come in and create items that would then be in our marketplace. So, yeah.
And Flav, you talked about the engagement with the community, which I know is an overused word at times in crypto, but it's really true with Shrapnel, Tina, and how you're engaging the development of the game before you actually launch. Like, what does that look like for your team, and how does it impact you on the finance side as well?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that's really unique about our game is we're involving the community in the design, taking them along for the ride, the design of the game, the aesthetics, map creation. We're really kind of following the whole ethos of blockchain, where it's decentralized, we're part of a community, and trying to create a great experience for the gamers. So that's one of the things I really enjoy about Shrapnel, and I think it's we engage with, if you want to go find us on Twitter and Discord, and hopefully some other outlets soon. But yeah.
And for anyone going to Consensus, we'll have I think a live Shrapnel demo going on there, so check it out.
Thank you.
Flav, so let's get a little bit more specific on a couple themes here. I think even other panels talked about custody of assets being really important for gaming these days. Like, what are you hearing from your members about custody of user assets and kind of different options there and how they approach player onboarding to get more people into Web3?
I would say first, it's a big topic for the traditional gaming industry first. Like when we're having conversation with them saying you should maybe consider blockchain technologies for your activity, developing a game, they're saying, no, like a wallet, some code I need to remember, and blah and blah. And actually, that's very easy for us to actually explain what's happening in the ecosystem right now, because you have so many solutions to actually help game companies to overcome that challenge of asking a player to remember a seed phrase and everything. That's not possible. So obviously, you are seeing a lot of things happening in the ecosystem based on the need of game companies. You have game companies who really would like to prove self-custody of digital asset for the players first. They don't want to manage anything, and for some of them it's better based on the law of certain countries. So they really want to have a solution, a wallet solution, so it's easy to actually use to play a game and actually acquire some in-game assets. So prove the self-custody of in-game assets. So you're seeing smart wallets, you're seeing MPC, you're seeing a lot of different wallets in the ecosystem, and kind of a lot of solutions who are competing with each other right now. So it's very hard to see the landscape of those different tools, but Immutable is one of them. So Immutable is building a large ecosystem. You mentioned that yourself, I remember, on your notes, a large ecosystem around blockchain gaming, and they are obviously into developing a solution, a wallet solution for self-custody. So easy onboarding for players, but easy onboarding for game developers as well, because at first it has to be easy for game developers to propose these kind of wallet solutions into their games. And that's actually one of the feedback we've seen during GDC and just before, a lot of solution to be provided to game developers with SDK, what you call an SDK, when Web2 companies propose SDK for game developers to integrate Web3, and that's the kind of thing we're seeing, which really mean that we are in a very exciting space when it's very easy to bootstrap your game development with Web3 technologies because a lot of companies exist.
Yeah, a lot more tools in the space, a lot of options, I guess, for you, Tina, as you build out. You have to deal with the downstream implications of all the creativity from your team from a finance and compliance perspective, from the in-game marketplace to the custody of user assets. Like, what does that mean for you as a financial controller? Right.
The in-game marketplace is a bit of a challenge, and in that we're trying to create a really great gaming experience, to say gaming is first. And gamers didn't come into our game necessarily to create wallets and so that's been one of the biggest challenges with the design of the game, is trying to make this a seamless, very easy process, but while at the same time, obviously, we have to stay compliant. And so with our Shrap token, as if they stay in our ecosystem, they can still trade, make Shrap, make money for the games and the things that they create. If they choose to leave, then at that point is when they have to KYC, and getting that structure in place has been challenging.
Yeah, not trivial to say the least. I think David just described a scenario where we looked at each other, Tina, backstage, we're like, oh, that sounds like you, right? So a lot of complexity there. Shifting a little bit to some other challenges, like one of the most fun and challenging parts of building a crypto company is the potential for incredible scale in an incredibly short amount of time. We had the two Stevens from OpenSea talk about that at our first EDAS last year. That was a fun topic. I think gaming epitomizes this challenge. What do you do as a controller with your team to prepare for that kind of potential scale for the success that you're expecting?
Right. I mean, we're trying to make sure that we have the right structure in place for custodial wallets and the right structure in place with our organization. With that, we're creating, to say what Bitwave often says, more wallets are better. So, creating a lot of different wallets for those revenue streams. And what I'm looking forward to particularly is being able to get some of the data analytics that I don't think are available with traditional Web 2 revenue streams. So we can get a lot richer data to understand who's playing the game and what's going on.
I love it, and I think that tees up Joe and the CPAs nicely here, coming up on wallet hygiene, if that's something they want to get into. Flav, before we go, what are you most excited about the rest of 2023 in blockchain gaming? And for anybody out there that's maybe curious about this space, what should they be doing right now to learn more?
The ability for this year to actually play games, as I said, I think it's exciting to discover blockchain technologies by playing game. I think that's the more fun way to learn something. We're going to see a lot of games actually releasing their games this year. But for the space, I mean, based on what we've seen in the ecosystem, traditional gaming industry and the crypto blockchain related event as well, that's definitely exciting times. I think a lot of companies also, blockchain companies also want to have connection with game companies to bring more utility to their players with innovative ways. We're very happy in the BGA to actually talk to these kind of new companies who actually try to bring values to the game companies as well. So you have streaming protocols, you have if you played World of Warcraft, you just wanted to easily sell items outside the games. That was one of the things I really wanted to do when I was young. It wasn't a lot. Now, blockchain technology, you just can think of the ability to rent, borrow items across platforms. And that's one of the most exciting things, I think, and it's going to be a huge topic, I think, in the following. After the adoption of blockchain technologies for big game companies, it's going to be eventually a big topic as well. For players, the ability to exchange and trade NFTs for games.
Well, I think rumor has it that Vitalik was thinking a lot about in-game assets in World of Warcraft when he created Ethereum. So we'll run with that. You're in good company. Tina, what are you most excited about the rest of 2023? I think I might know the answer, but please tell us.
Really excited for us to release our creator tool and really have that community feedback and see what our community, what creativity they provide that we weren't able to think of, and see where they'll take the game, whether it's maps or vanity items. We're really excited to just hopefully bring along both gamers and the crypto community into something that can really be special.
Well, this has been awesome. I think it's a perfect topic for EDAS because gaming incorporates all of the fun and all of the challenges that go on in crypto from the accounting and finance perspective. Thank you for joining us, total subject matter experts. For anybody out there that, gaming companies, make sure to check out the BGA. And Tina, appreciate being able to work with you and share best practices with your peers.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.